everybody, it's Martha. Welcome back. I appreciate it very much. So I had some responses on the last video about what you'd like to see. And I know everybody's busy and there weren't a lot of responses, but there were enough for me. So, and I have to do this anyway, so I thought I'd just turn the camera on. If you're interested, watch. If you're not, I totally understand. It's okay. So, I have 2 more journals to make. One is definitely nature themed. So, I really think I want to get started on that one the most. They're both due about the same time. And the other one that I just finished, I was a little stressed about. Looking back now, I wish there were a few more things I had done with it. So I'm going to do those things now. And whichever journal they end up in, hey, that's fine. It's great. It's okay. I'm going to be making these things anyway. This is the type of journal I really like to make. And I have decided that no matter what somebody asks for, the journal that comes out of my heart is the one that they're going to get. And I will explain that ahead of time, that, you know, that's just the way I work. I can't have too many specifics to go by. I just can't physically, mentally, well, physically, I guess I could do it, but mentally I don't want to. So, I went to AC Moore. They're closing down all their stores here in the States. And I got this ginormous gesso canvas primer thingy. It was less expensive than buying the Liquitex. I got more than I would have for the same size of this as I could have gotten in this. I spent a lot less money on this. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I'm just mixing it a little because I don't know how long it sat on the shelf, and I really need a smaller jar to put this in, but I don't have one right now. So, and I didn't even think about the fact that I should have tried to open it before I did that. So there's no cover over it, which is okay. And honestly, now that I shook it up, and I'm just gonna play with some gesso. I'm gonna play with inking. I'm gonna play with decoupage. And like I said, if you're interested in watching, great. If not, I totally get it. You've seen it before. But this is what I need to do for, I want to see how this dries, for what I need to do. I don't know, you know, I mean, up till now, I haven't had people, well, that's not true either. I have had people order journals, like my cousin has ordered a couple in the past, but really, honestly, that's about it. People have ordered the Ephemera folios from me, but I'm going to put that back so I have some more space. But I haven't had people typically order journals from me. I make them, and if they sell on Etsy, they sell, or if I sell them by showing somebody in person and they sell, I'm happy about that too. Works for me. So I'm not very good with these waxy glassine bags, so I'm hoping if I gesso them, I think I've seen Andrea Allen do this, Artie Mays, as you may know her. And then it's easier to stick things to, I think. It gives it a toothy surface to stick to. Now, you know, hopefully this gesso works the same as my other gesso. I like it, the other gesso, because it's a matte and it's gritty. I don't know how much this is going to be. And I may have to stop this video and let this stuff dry. I don't know how quickly it's going to dry. Very warm in my little shabby craft studio today. It's not hot outside, but the sun is blazing. So I'm happy about that because it's been quite dark and cloudy and rainy here. And I apologize for my squeaky chair. I don't think I'll ever remember to oil it or figure out where it needs to be oiled. So I'll try not to move so much in it. I'm a very I move a lot when I do this. I don't sit still with my bum and then, you know, just move my arms. Okay, running out of space. Oh no, okay. I can't put it there. I'll put it there for now. So yesterday I didn't go out at all. It was just one of those days. It was rainy, cloudy, dreary, cool. Not cold at all, because it was like in the 50s. In fact, it was sort of humid and I wouldn't say tropical, but it was warm. But 50s isn't hot, you know, it's not 80, of course. So, all right, where are you going to go? I guess you'll go, I'll probably put it over here and then forget I put it over there and be hunting for it. All right, we're going to see how that goes. And then I think these are gonna, I'm not gonna do the back because these will probably be little like pocket tuck spot kind of things. These are just paper. I think I got these at Tuesday morning, and I think, now that I think about it, in my last video, I had those little white paper bags. I think that's where I got those too. Was Tuesday morning, and when they have them, I grab them because I really like the size. But I like these small paper bags. I don't know what it is. I either want to go really big, like with the really big tags that fill almost a whole page, or I want to go really tiny. Who knows? So at the moment, I don't have any paper pulled out per se, like digital kits or anything, but I may be pulling those out later. At the moment, I gotta find another place for this too. I can't put it there because my sustenance is here. That's another chocolate chip cookie. So we went to Goodwill today. Uh-oh. That was genius. Went to Goodwill today. And our Goodwill has, I just got gesso all over this, has cut way, 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 way back on books. Like there's no more gardening books. They went from probably, let's see, probably 10 bookcases across a long wall, and then a set of bookcases equaling that on the, opposite that, to just maybe 4 bookcases. And it's very depressing because I can't find Reader's Digests, and I can't find any good books. So I came across these. I didn't look to see how old they are, but when I looked at the top of them, they had the gold rimmed pages. But then I took them out and looked, and look at the pages. Can you tell? Can you tell how yellow they are? So yeah, so it's Webster's Dictionary, the Grammar Handbook, the Fact Finder Handbook, the Spelling Dictionary, and the Thesaurus. Now, they have really nice covers. They're not very thick. And I thought, yeah, am I going to be able to tear these up? But then I opened it up. Let's see what it says. It says 1994 copyright. So, of course, I can't copy them. I can't scan them. But look how yellow the pages are around the edges and stuff. So I thought these would be really nice to pull apart. And this one's really yellow. I really like this one. Basic Grammar. For a list of words which are often confused, see pages 186 to 193. For a list of words with dual spellings, for a list of irregular verbs, for a list of commonly used superfluous words, and for a list the examples in this book by part of speech. Somebody should have proofread that. And they didn't. Anyway, but I really like how yellow the pages are. But I figured there probably 99% chance are not going to be any bad words in here. Which is a problem I've come across even in really old books. So I thought that I would see how these are put together, and then I would try and take them apart and maybe decoupage napkins on them. But I'm not sure that's a project for me to do on camera because, yeah. Grace is not my middle name. So I have some other pages that I pulled out, and they're over there. So hold that thought. Ouch. Ouch. I have a really bad knee, and somehow I tweaked it. I was getting up and down and trying to look for things so I'd be prepared, and I tweaked it. So I have these pages, which are out of a quote book. And I thought I would use the quote book, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and of course I have to make sure that there aren't any bad words in this either, because who knows, you know. I don't want it to, but I really like the paper. So I'm going to work with a couple of these, and I need to get my husband to tea dye them. I have tons and tons of these pages, and I need him to start tea dyeing them. But I like the tissue paper effect of them. So I'm going to gesso these as well. Let me feel. Oh yeah, that's not nearly as gritty as my other gesso. Interesting. That's a lot smoother. I like it. Unless all the grit's on the bottom and I didn't shake it well enough, which is entirely possible. Okay, let me put those up there. I need some space. That's a big jug. Okay. And I have to wear old clothes when I gesso. I had an old shirt on, an old long sleeve shirt last week, and I was gessoing, and I must have had it on my hand like I just did then, and I'll tell you what, I ended up with it on my shirt. I ended up with it on the sleeve of my shirt, on the front of my shirt. Of course, everything ends up on the front of my shirt because, you know, I'm well endowed in that area. And, you know, everything lands there because that's just the way it is when you're well endowed. Yeah, so even after washing it, it didn't come out. So I make sure that if I'm going to mess with gesso or ink, I am going to have something old on. Trust me. Okay, so, and even if I just gesso these and let them all dry, which I probably should have done before I turned the camera on, I can even use these to tear up to use in backgrounds and stuff. So probably at some point I'm going to cover the table in a plastic, a big long folding table that I have downstairs. I'll have my husband bring it up. He had it up here when he was making our Christmas cards. And yes, he made our Christmas cards. He made them last year and he made them this year. But he didn't get as adventurous this year as he did last year. He did a lot more embossing and stuff last year. And my embossing machine was a mess. It's, I know I did a video and mentioned this, but I don't think I published that video. So I have a Cuttlebug, which I've probably had at least 10, somewhere between 10 and 15 years. And it was, I think it was soon after they first came out. And those things are so hard to turn, and they're a little bit limited because they're a bit narrow, and I think they're narrower than the big shots and stuff. And everybody always says, I need places to put these. Everybody always says how much they love their big shots. So, that's not going to work. Oh my. Okay. That doesn't really work either. It's probably going to dry in a really weird position because it's not laying flat. But I'll move it in a minute. So on Black Friday weekend, the weekend after Thanksgiving, which was last weekend. Last weekend? Yeah. I got online and I went to scrapbook.com, and of course they were having a sale. And so I got the Big Shot, and I got it with a set of dies. Well, actually it was 3 sets. Stars, squares, circles, rectangles, 4 sets, I think it was. Now, I haven't played with it yet. It's unpacked. Took all the dies out, looked at them. And then, today, we went to Tuesday Morning, and they had the Big Kick, which I went online to see what the comparison was, the Big Shot versus the Big Kick. Everybody says they're just the same machine, just different colors. And the one there was only $49. So I probably would have spent a lot less money if I'd gone into Tuesday Morning and looked first. So if you're looking for a Big Shot, get the Big Kick at Tuesday Morning for $49. And then buy the dies that you want, because it's got to be a lot cheaper to do it that way. And when you buy the dies, just get them on sale or whatever. If Tuesday Morning doesn't have what you want, go to Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has dies on sale right now. I believe they're Sizzix stuff, the Tim Holtz and Sizzix, maybe. The dies and, I don't know about Tim Holtz. I think they're dies and stuff. Dies and embossing folders are on sale, I think. Don't quote me. But anyway, now I gotta find you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna jump up real quick, and I'm gonna clean off my bench I sit on in front of my laptop. And I'm gonna lay these papers flat on there so they dry. And I did put it on a little bit thick because it's a very thin gesso compared to the Liquitex one. So, and if I don't let them dry flat, they're already wrinkling from being damp. Let go. And that one's almost dry. I'm going to do a few more things. I think I'm going to do some of these cards. What I did was, I have the paper somewhere. I don't think I cut it all, but I didn't pull it out. But I found this paper in Hobby Lobby, and it's very light cardstock, very, very light cardstock. And it comes in a sheet like this, squared off, of course, a rectangular sheet. I cut them in half, and then I cut the corners off. And they make really nice cards, but they're very thin. They make nice tags and journaling cards and stuff, but they're thin. So I went through last night, and this morning, whee! Luckily it was only one that went flying, and stamped them all with a background stamp, script stamp. So I am going to gesso a few of these as well, and I think I'm going to take some of the darker ones. Some of them I wanted really, really light, and some of them I wanted darker. So I mean, it's so quick and easy to do, like I said in yesterday's video. Having pre-stamped tags is really nice. Like, you could just take a tag like this and just stick it in a pocket, really. Or you can gesso them and decoupage them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to gesso. So let's see, what else at Tuesday Morning? I went specifically to see if they had the We Are Memory Keepers tear rulers, because some people have said that Tuesday Morning has had them, but I guess I missed out on those because they were gone. And let's see. No, I didn't get anything else there. And there's a Goodwill next door, and that's where I got those books, which I will use too. And I plan on using these bags, these paper sacks. I did not grow up calling them sacks, so to me it's awkward to call them a sack. And so we're just gonna play around with this stuff. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice odd number. I gotta put. Ooh, look at this one. It's curling all up. Look. Yeah. Oh, they're all curling up. Straighten out. Straighten out. Straighten out. What I'll do is when they're dry, I will put them under a heavy ream of paper. If you have a ream of paper, or cardstock is even better because it's heavier. If you have that, it's real easy to put them on a flat surface, put the ream of paper on them, and everything comes out really flat with very little effort. I need a drink. We went to Bob Evans for lunch. I had potato soup. They have a potato cheese soup and a half of a ham and cheese sandwich, and all of that has a lot of salt in it. Probably, which I shouldn't be eating, but I've always eaten a lot of salt. I do not have high blood pressure. Although when I had my heart attack in 2007, my blood pressure did skyrocket, but that's what happens when you have a heart attack. You know, when there's an artery that your blood can't flow through, your blood pressure is going to skyrocket. It's just what happens. A lot of these are not as dark as I thought I made them, which is interesting. Of course, my ink pad needs to be re-inked too, I think. All right, let's do one more because we want a nice even number. Because I shouldn't say usually. Up till now, I've always done 3 signatures. And see, these straightened out again when they started drying. They straightened out on their own. So, there you go. And they're almost dry. So, I'm going to close this tightly and put that gesso over on the same bench that those pages are drying on. Okay, I think I'm done with that. Throw that in my water. Let's see what is dry. Let's take these, and I'm going to move the tags out of my way, up under the lamp. Lots of places to put them. These are dry. So I'm going to get a stamp out to do a background, and let's see. I have flipped a lot of things around on in my room. I have 2 of those Roskeg carts. You can now get them at Michael's. You can get them at IKEA. You know, those things. Home stores have them now. Everybody's trying to sell them cheaper and cheaper. They used to be like $50, and now they're going down in price. And then they go up, and then they go down. Where's my ink pad? Okay. I use the archival permanent inks because if you use the Tim Holtz inks, the oxide and the ink, they're going to react to water, glue, anything else that you might have on there. So I'm trying to think. I want to try something that I've seen Andrea do. Try and decide if I want to do that now or after. I think I'm going to try it now, in fact. Speaking of oxide inks, I don't know why I'm picking these 2, but we're going to try this. Okay, I have to take all this stuff off. I'm sorry, this is going to cause a glare. This is the wax side of my parchment paper, and yeah, I know it's a glare. I'm sorry. So we're going to experiment. I have my water, and we'll see if this comes out or not, because I've never done it. I've seen Andrea do it, and I love when it comes out. So these are the archival inks. This is Forget Me Not. And I'm going to do that one first. I don't want too much water on it. I know you can see that reacting. And these are inks, not the oxides. So I don't know if I can't remember if she was using inks or oxides. I feel like there's too much water. Yeah, too much water. Not enough ink. This may be a fail. It's very possible. I think she does it on her glass mat. Does she do it on her glass mat? I can't remember. All right, let's see. There we go. That's sort of what I'm looking for. That's pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. And then she sops hers up, but with like papers and stuff. I'm just going to do that. And then we're going to do a little purple. See if I can get it to work better. Because I'm not making a very good example of her way of doing it. And I should blow this dry first. Heat gun. Okay. All right, I'm not going to make you suffer through me drying this and hearing the noise. So I'm going to turn the video off, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to see if the purple will work. Again, I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. Methinks that the surface that I'm doing it on is not good. Although I do like that. Where is the ink? Or maybe it's because it's not the oxide, it's the ink. Okay. All right, I like that. It's enough for me for the first time. So I'm going to dry this and plug your ears. All right, I'm going to leave the heat gun out because I don't want to put it away. And then, let's see. Yeah, mostly dry. All right, now for inking. So I think I'm going to use black on here. And this is just a script stamp. It's Hero Arts. And I have no idea where I got it. Maybe either Joann's or... I don't know if you can see the label or not. And there it is. Okay. So we're just going to just dab a little ink on here. A little script here and there. Well, that one has a little more than the rest. Okay. And I'm going to put a little on the flap up here because I tend to forget about the flap. All right. That worked. Wet one. Where's my wet one? I actually use Huggies. And I will get wipe that off. I'll put that over there. I'm going to try and get some of this gesso off while we're at it. So yeah, we went out, we went to Hobby Lobby. I looked No, I didn't. I was going to go to Hobby Lobby, decided against it. We went to Kohl's and looked around in there, but I couldn't find what I wanted. And shh, don't tell my husband. I hope he doesn't watch this. I don't think he does. But I want to get him a pair of headphones. So when I'm here in the sunroom and I'm videoing, and even though I have the door shut, I can hear the TV because it's just in the next room over there. And it's in the living room, which the sunroom is off of. And he can tend to listen to it pretty loud, although he tries to make it quiet. And then I know he's not enjoying it. So I want to get him one of those sets of headphones where you can hear the TV and they cancel the noise out of everywhere else. So, yeah, I want to do that. And they're not cheap. So I wanted to look around. You know, a lot of times Kohl's will have, all right, hold that thought. I need to twirl my thing around. I have a Lazy Susan thingy with different pockets, I guess you'd call it, in it. And I really love it. It holds so much stuff. But it takes up a lot of room on the desk. And it is convenient, but it's also inconvenient. All right, so I don't use the tape unless I absolutely cannot get my napkins apart, because I have been stamping the backs of the napkins. And so I don't want them all torn apart. Not that I guess it would matter, but the other thing is the Book Vandal Shop, I believe it was, did a video on how to make faux handmade paper. And it is so awesome. And I have some things outside that I'm going to go out and cut this afternoon now that they're drying off, because it rained yesterday and it snowed overnight. The snow's all gone. We don't get much here normally as far as snow. But when you take, I'm going to show you here, when you take this layer off of the napkin, you get a ghost pattern. Can you see? I don't know if you can see the ghost pattern on the napkin? Martha, hopefully you can see the ghost patterns. And so I save these. I don't stamp on these. And you use those on the paper that is fake handmade paper. So I want to try that, and Tony wants to help me. So we're going to do that. Excuse me. And oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. Now, the question is, do I want to really tear right around the edge of the rose and everything? Or this has a really pretty green script backing on it, and I think I want to keep that. So I'm not going to tear a lot of that off. But I do want the rough edges. So we're gonna which is another reason to bring the big table up here, because with my knee all messed up, I can't do the steps to the basement. As soon as I do, I can't walk for a couple days. I can walk, but not very well, and not without a lot of pain. So I'm either sitting with a heating pad or ice on my knee at night. All right, so I think I'm going to offset it a little that way. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Ow! Ow! Okay, so glue. I am going to use glue stick. But I want my other glue stick. And where are you, other glue stick? Well, there. I'll have to use a new one, I guess, because I don't know where my other one is. I know I have it. I didn't think I finished one off, but then I could have. So I really like the Scotch glue stick, so I'm going to use that. And maybe. And make sure I get the center because I always end up with bubbles in the center. All right. I want this tilted just the teeniest bit. Now that purple behind there, that's going to dry clear. At least it's supposed to. That's what they say on the stick. So today is my littlest, youngest granddaughter's birthday. She turns 6 today. And we called this morning before they went off to school. And she was trying to tell me that she wasn't 6 years old yet because her mommy and daddy told her that she wasn't 6 years old until 11 o'clock when she was actually born. Oh, the things my daughter tells these children. Makes me nuts. I mean, she really drives me crazy with some of the things she tells these kids. So I'm trying really hard not to cut the bag because I've done that before. Yeah. Because these scissors will cut anything because they're titanium. Whew, it is warm in this sunroom. I'm sticky everywhere. So I had to tell her that she was 6 years old all day today and that she did not have to wait until 11 o'clock to be 6 years old. My daughter. Ugh, I swear. Okay. I don't know if this is really... Yeah, that'll fit. That will fit, I think. Okay. So right about there. All right. Oh, now the sun is trying to disappear. There goes the light. Alrighty. So we called and wished her a happy birthday, and she said to her dad, "Daddy, can we take donuts to Grandma and Papa and save some?" Because they're taking, she said they were taking donuts to her class. Well, her mother, my daughter, kind of acted like that was a surprise to her. So, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what goes on there. Who knows? I try not to ask because I'm not sure I want to know. So when we were at the store today, I told my husband, I said, we should buy 2 donuts. Oh, so my son-in-law, I forgot to finish. So my son-in-law gets on the phone and he says, "Can you hear me?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I told Michaela that we'll send you 2 donuts, digital donuts." Okay. Through cyberspace, you know. So I said, "Okay, that works." So while we were at the store today, I told my husband, "Let's buy 2 donuts and we'll take a picture of them and we will tell Michaela we got the donuts." So I sent a picture of the donuts to my daughter, who does not eat donuts or cookies or anything fattening. She's a little tiny thing. She weighs all of 95 pounds, I think, if that. Soaking wet, no less. So we'll see how these look when the... See, this one you can see a bit of the ink through. The other ones you can't really see that much of the ink through. But I could ink them up, just ink them up, and it would show. Okay, I love this napkin. Aren't those beautiful? Butterflies! Oh, that came off easy. Oh, I'm just tossing this stuff. So, so my daughter texted back, but I don't know what she said yet because I'm doing this video. Which reminds me, I should have erased my prior video. I hope this doesn't stop on me in the middle. Let's see. Yep, there's some shadowing on that one too. That'll be pretty on the paper. So this faux paper, faux handmade paper. Let's see. These bags aren't very big, so I don't know how much I can actually. I think I'm going to do that. No, then I'm going to lose a lot. I hate to lose parts of the butterflies. It drives me crazy. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, sorry, I was mumbling. I can't think and decide and talk out loud at the same time, I don't think. So, we have these really tall, like grass-like plants outside, and they're all dried up because, you know, it's winter. And every time I take the dogs out, I start looking around to see what maybe I could use, because I don't have, like, we didn't get mums this year, so, and it's too late anyway, so I don't have any of those dried flowers. I do have, I believe, unless, I think they're still in the freezer, I have some dried tulip leaves, and I think they're from flowers that my husband got me a while back. I don't think this is going to be, I think this is going to be too long anyway, so I think I'm just going to rip this off. Okay. And I took the petals and I froze them. Yeah, that's not even going to show. Not going to fit, I should say. So I think those are in the freezer. So I'm going to chop those up in little tiny pieces. Because basically you have to have little, I mean, I could probably thaw them and lay them flat on the paper, but I don't know I want anything that big. But I'm excited to do this. I love handmade paper, and I know it won't be the same, but I think it's going to be kind of cool to play with it. And basically all you do is water down glue. And I know a lot of people use PVA glue, and from what I've researched online, basically I think Elmer's glue is a type of PVA glue, I think. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me if you are knowledgeable in that. But we're just going to take Elmer's glue, I guess, and water it down a bit. Sticky, sticky. And you glue down, you put glue all over your paper, and then you take things like tea leaves from a tea bag or several tea bags. And I have tea every day. I have at least 2 cups of tea a day, and my husband has a cup of decaf tea in the afternoon, because he and caffeine don't get along very well. not all the time. So these came out really pretty. And you could add to this. I mean, this could just be your base. And then, or you can leave it like that, right? You could gesso over the top of it. You could add to it so you have some dimension. You could put, I don't know if I have mine here. It's somewhere. There it is. Let's see, is that it? No. That is not it. I think I have, is it Stickles? I have it somewhere. I'll have to dig that up. That'll be in the next video. So I'm going to stop this for now, but I'm going to keep going with the bags and everything that we did. And kind of, now I'm going to do these in this direction because I want to fold them and put them in the journal. But I think I'm going to gesso the back of these and let them dry. I'll probably gesso the back of these pages, but the front is almost dry. But it's still very, very flimsy, but this will give it some structure. And I may, this gesso is really, really smooth. I may use my grittier gesso on the back. And then I'm going to decoupage these as well. And then, what else did I do? The small bags, the large bags, and the pages. That's all I did. And the tags. So I'm going to continue gessoing, and I'll probably continue doing some decoupage, and then we'll move on from there. So I thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a very crafty day. And if you want to get your stuff out and play like this, why don't you do that? And I'll be back in the next video, and we'll do some more. Okay? And then we'll move on with pages for the journal and pockets and all kinds of stuff like that. I have a lot of ephemera to make. I have some cardstock pockets I've cut out, and I will also be doing those, stamping them, gessoing them, decoupaging them. And I'm going to pull, I need to go online and see if there's any new kits out there that kind of fit what I have in mind for this. So I will talk to you all later. Thank you. I heart you all for being here and for joining me and for the comments and hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Happy crafting. Thank you.